Big bitch energy.
Big bitch energy.
Hey, cute. This is a Big Bitch Energy podcast with me, Sharon Palm, and
Suze Ball Out.
Oh my God! And where are we, Suze?
We're at the Lincoln Lodge.
Wow.
In Chicago, Illinois.
Every time I'm here, I'm surprised by it. And who are we with? Who are we here with today?
Oh, I'm
Hi,
supposed to
Matt.
introduce myself.
No,
Hello.
I was.
I thought that was a back and forth with the host.
It was,
Okay.
but I gestured to you, and I
got confused.
It's okay. Who are we here with?
Enter stage right.
I am Matt Brown, comedian extraordinaire, otherwise known as Ms. Brown Comedy.
Ms. Brown Comedy.
Yes. Is that your Instagram handle too?
Yes, Ms. Brown Comedy is the Instagram and the website.
MS Ms.
Yes, like the 70s, like everything else about me.
Yeah. Amazing. So, Matt, we're so excited to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. We're just two fat bitches talking about body shit. And
But two of my favorite, funniest fat bitches.
yeah, duh. I mean, we knew that. That's why you're here.
Precisely. No one wants to be with an unfunny skinny bitch.
It's so
Give
true.
me a funny fat bitch wherever she is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, it's funny, Matt. I feel like a lot of your female friends are bigger women.
It's not exclusively.
But it just, you attract that.
I sort of think it's there's an old Roseanne Barr joke, rest in peace to her reputation.
I agree.
There's an old Roseanne Barr joke where she said that God bless gay men, otherwise who else would fat women have to dance with? And I don't know what it is. There are not all women, but there are certain types of women that just go together with gay guys. Like it's just like a peanut butter and jelly situation. Like old women, gay men, perfect. But also like a little girl and a gay man, also perfect. Like there are just certain types of gay man-woman relationships that work.
I agree 1,000%, which I guess leads me into something that I want to pick your brain about.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people have used you as an accessory friendship? Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's so nice to have any value. I it's so hard to be picky
So
at this
half
age.
glass full.
Yeah. It's so hard to be picky. You know, looking the gift horse in the mouth and seeing all those cute soldiers in there. Like, you know, I would say that that's definitely been a thing, but I also definitely know how to use people back. So it ends up being fine.
You're like, we both benefit.
Yeah. I can be the barnacle on the whale. It's fine.
Well, you're the barnacle on two whales right now.
Thank you.
Yo, I'd be such a cute baby whale. We both would.
Literally, baby beluga in the deep blue sea.
I was just gonna say belugas. Big beluga energy, gang. Okay.
My like first grade class loved that book so much that the teacher bought like a CD of whale sounds, and we were like, "This is actually terrifying." We have nightmares.
You're like, no.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Whale sounds. Yeah, that's when he's hitting the G spot real good, and you're just like, ooh.
Oh my God.
I think I made that noise at 148 once, so I think that might be a universal. Maybe.
Amazing. And Matt, I feel like I want to talk about how old you are, just because I feel like everyone's always super surprised that you're not like 32.
Just because, that would be polite based off how I look.
It's not even that. For me, it's how you carry yourself, your disposition, and how you handle things, for sure.
I will give a very youthful answer and say that I'm actually 25 and a half.
That's right.
You were not 25.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when I met you, you were like, what? Were you 19?
I was like a teenager because you've been doing this like five or 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you started, I would have been 19. Yeah.
And you were like going to school getting your
undergrad. I was still an undergrad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were getting your master's. See, older. I
See?
just assumed
Yeah.
you were older. Yes.
And a lot of your friends are older. I feel like
Always.
you're just like, you are an old soul.
I feel way more comfortable with older people. Always have. I've never dated guys my age once it was like legal. It just, I don't know. It never occurred to me like I would much rather be around somebody I could, I don't know, learn something from.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah. I was about to say the same thing. It's like I never was friends with kids my age.
Did you have like older parents or like spend a lot of time with your grandparents? Was there like family influence with that?
No, my dad was much older than my mom. My dad's
Okay.
like 12 years older than my mom, so maybe that was it. But both my sets of grandparents lived overseas.
Okay.
But I had a brother who was 8 years older than me, and I think that's probably what did it.
My
was,
siblings
like,
are also way older.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of
I'm
it.
the oldest here, and I'm the oldest sibling.
Oldest of 3.
Totally, that's right.
Wait, are you one of 3 as well?
No, just 2.
Okay. Yeah, I'm youngest of 3. But it's Appalachian style where it's like cousins that are raised as siblings because, you know.
Totally.
All in
No,
the same house.
100%.
And it's all real Kentucky cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kentucky cute.
So, Kentucky Kid.
Yeah.
Were you were raised by your grandma?
I was raised by a lot of people.
A lot. Hell yeah.
It was my mom to a point, and then my grandma to a point, and then my aunt to a point.
Yeah.
It was kind of like all through different stages.
Everyone kind of
Feels like-
tagged in.
Yeah.
when
Three
needed.
wise women.
Basically.
Yeah.
Which has made comedy kind of fun because my mom on stage is an amalgamation. Because it doesn't make any sense to bring anybody in through the chronology.
Yeah.
So just to mash these 3 women into one is way more fun.
Yeah.
Way more
Love
fun.
that. So, Matt, you have a day job.
Indeed.
And what is that?
I have worked in higher ed administration for my entire career, like once I finished school. And so I used to work at a dental school, and I was the assistant director of academic affairs over there. So I was like the discipline guy. I was the one who kicked him out and got him in trouble.
I want you to yell at me.
Matt was like, "No, you don't."
I kind of do. I need to be put in my place.
And now I work with people who are like doing their research towards a PhD in the medical field. So
Wow.
like cancer biology, neurobiology, like cell bio, all that stuff.
So you're not only hilarious, but you're also super smart.
Yeah,
That's
kind
amazing.
of. And the day job is honestly, to be honest, like the least intellectually demanding thing I do.
Really?
Because my other artistic life is being a music journalist on Black Music Archive. That's YouTube and Instagram, Black Music Archive. I produce and write and interview a lot for that channel, and we've crossed over 100,000 subscribers this summer. So
That's amazing.
So
That
yeah,
is
I stay
amazing.
busy.
So
Wow.
also y'all follow that Black Archive
Absolutely.
Music. Is
Black
it
Music Archive?
Black
yes.
Music Archive? Hell yes.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Because you're like always busy.
I have not taken a nap since I was 10.
Wow. Because you're regularly booked. I mean, you.
The calendar is lighter than it was once upon a time, but honestly, that is good for me.
Yeah, quality over quantity for sure.
Well, the schedule I had when I was like 21, 22 years old was not sustainable. I used to regularly do 5 shows every Saturday.
Yeah.
You can only do that with the strength of a child.
Yeah.
Like you literally are an ant carrying a potato chip. I couldn't do it forever. I didn't want to do it forever. I still do a lot of stand up, but none of this 40 show a month bullshit I used to do 5 years ago.
Right.
I can't take
I
it.
feel like pre-COVID, it's just, I don't know if you guys compare to this, but it was like being a hamster on a hamster wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just go, and you're like, if I step off, am I going to lose this momentum? But then
Very much
kind
so.
of
That's
COVID-
absolutely. But I was burnt out before shutdown because I
We were
was
all
like
working our asses
It was
off.
like 2 weekly shows, a monthly show, an open mic. I mean, I just felt like I had to do so much, just like be visible. And now I'm like, I just like fade in and out. And sometimes people are like, oh, I haven't seen you around. I'm like, I've been around. I'm more selective now.
Yeah.
Of how I spend my time, I think.
What really got me to be a little bit more selective about my schedule and chill out was I have been very lucky, very fucking privileged to be able to start to do long sets very early on in my career around here. I did half an hour the first time at 19. I did 45 the first time at the age of 21. And so like I have my little hour printed out, written out in my fucking book bag. Like I did my hour 6 times this summer. I know I'm not worried about building material or finding my voice.
Yeah.
So what precisely am I going to do with 6 open mics a week?
I feel that. Ugh.
If I didn't write something that I'm really want to work with, what am I going to do? Show up and do my act that everyone's seen for the past 3 years?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh, that new tag I wrote about my mom's smoker voice. Great. I'm changing the world. Like, I can fit it into my set when I'm booked to do
Yes.
it.
There's also so many 9/11 jokes you could hear in one open mic before you're like, I think I'm just going to use shows as my open mic now.
I would like to be 9/11, actually. Plane crashing into me.
My
God, Sharon.
Sorry. Not actually sorry. This is who I am.
because I didn't know if this was going to go into like a 12 Arab dudes or like
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, I was
I
like, do you want to
wasn't-
be hit by twins?
No,
Like, what?
I meant, no. No.
She's hit by twins every time she takes off her bra. Let's come to
I never wear a bra.
okay, when you run to catch the bus. Okay, hit by twins.
I'm really flattered that you assumed that I would run to catch anything. So that's really sweet of you.
I didn't say far.
My mode is always relaxed. If I'm gonna be late, I'm gonna be really late. I guess I'm not. I'm gonna bust ass to be only 2 minutes late. No, I'll be 15, and you'll deal with it.
What's 20 minutes late to a job you want to quit anyway?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, also, like, speaking of performing, do you feel like... I think that, Sharon, you would ask this question a little bit better, so please, like, correct me. But, like, do you feel like your appearance or your body affects any of your performance in any sort of way?
Oh, in a big way.
Right.
In a big way, because like part of what I do is my clothes. Like when I'm booked to do a long set, you know, they're going to get the shiny jackets and the makeup and everything. And like what number I see on the scale dictates what outfits are available. You know, if someone says, oh, I really love that white and gold thing with the beads on the shoulders. That was about 20 pounds ago. Do you want me to see it buttoned?
Yeah.
But you
'Cause
hang
that-
on to it.
Yeah. It's
Because
still
you
around.
might lose it. I
It's
mean,
still around.
I have so
Yeah.
many clothes that fit me 20 pounds ago that clothes that'll fit me 20 pounds from now, you know, and I just kind of hang on to them just in case.
Well, it's also really hard with women's clothing sizes because I'm sure you both have everything from like a medium to a 2X in your closet and it makes no fucking
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, 100%.
So like you just kind of have to have everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the appearance is a big part because I notice it, one, in certain clothes that I have available, and then part two, because I'm either hosting or doing long sets, so I'm on stage a lot. And I notice a big difference in how much I sweat and how physically uncomfortable I am at like, I'm okay giving numbers between like 155 versus 185. I can physically feel a difference on stage by the 20-minute mark. I'm like, dude, you're wet. I was in Kentucky a month ago, in Dayton, Kentucky, and I could really feel the butt crack sweat come in at the 35-minute mark.
Yeah.
That's when I was just like, okay, you only have to be up here for another 15, 20 tops. You can get through this and
Yeah.
change your underwear whenever you want.
The booty,
Yes.
the booty
Yes.
sweat is, it's a problem.
That's how I know I'm nervous or like it's time to get off stage.
Yeah.
When I can just feel the little trickle.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's the part. That's the part that's so uncomfortable.
It is because also I don't know about you, Suze, but for me, I'm like, is this butt sweat or my period? Right? But
Yes.
like, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's like you got big old booty cheeks and like the liquid just gonna like pool up into the thing. Well, I mean,
If you like to wear tight clothes, there's not much room for anything to go.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
So I could imagine there being a little bit of some backwash. Maybe. If you could consider that.
yeah, I've considered it. Anyway, so I want to talk a little bit too about how you present on stage because you have a very like eclectic, bright, also clean sense of style. You know, you can wear such like flamboyant, bright things, but you wear it so well that it's just like I see you and I'm like, yeah, that's a normal outfit. Like that's fine. You know what I mean? But obviously now here you are in front of us. You're just wearing some
Sweater
cute
and
little
pants,
pink pants, a sweater. Your hair looks good. Your skin looks great. So obviously you're
brows
not.
look great. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to add brows.
Thank you.
Your brows.
Drawn on with drugstore products.
You drew those on.
Oh yeah, these are not real.
They're
Not
beautiful.
real.
They look real.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Suze also has great eyebrows.
Yeah, but Suze actually grew out of her forehead. It feels unfair for me to compliment your eyebrows, knowing that all you had to do was maybe separate them. Maybe.
Exactly. No, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I love when my threader goes in the middle and gets that unibrow. I'm like, yes.
Hell yeah.
Do you cry when you get your eyebrows threaded?
I don't anymore. The first time it feels like knives against your face, but after a while you're like, just do it.
But it lasts for like a month and a half.
amazing.
It's great. It's great.
Yes.
Yes, but
Unique
yes.
brows.
So so the way that you dress, do you think it also is like, how do I put this? Like signaling in a way. Like I feel like I don't like to assume people's sexuality based on what they look like, but a very well-dressed, fashionable person, I'm like, maybe they are part of the queer community.
Well, okay, for those of people who are listening to the podcast who maybe haven't seen me or my work, it's softcore Liberace.
There you
go.
Sharon's
being very nice. But it is a very toned down version of one of the most extreme things you could do. It's Joan Rivers in her country home.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And what I would say is the kind of the significance in the signaling. It's not even to me directly that it is a gay signaling or that it's a sexually available signaling. To me, in the 8 seconds I have between I come from the curtain, I put down my notebook and my drink, and I grab the mic, they have that time to know something weird is about to fucking happen.
See, and that was going to be my next point, too, is like if I go to a show and it's just a bunch of the same looking people and then you come on stage, even if I didn't know you, I'm like, yeah, this person's about to be funny. Like, I just know it. Because I'm like, wow, they're like presenting in a way that's like totally unique and authentic to them and not like what anyone else looks like, you know? And so, and I just think that's so cool.
You're about to get a show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I really think that it's important to dress however you're comfortable. Like, I don't ever want anybody to think they should have to put on a suit or need to put on Spanx or need to wear crazy shoes. I honestly feel comfortable like that. Like, I will dress some of my jackets you've seen, I will wear to work.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, because the outfit can't wear you. And I have there are only a few celebrities who wear shit that's bigger than my personality. So I just know that my little Chinese knockoffs are a fun little exercise.
Yes. And that's why I also think that you and Mary Kelly are such good co-producers and co-hosts because, I mean, we'll have Mary Kelly on the show eventually too, but she also has a very unique and eclectic sense of style. And she wears some stuff that I am like, wow, no one else can wear this.
Absolutely. Because I think Mary, like when she goes shopping, she's like, I want to have fun today.
Yes.
That is the whole attitude. Because whenever you see her outfits and all of her amazing Instagram posts and stuff, it's just always like fun. Like cis is a human party.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, she always gives me like Clueless vibes.
Yes.
You know?
It's like exactly what you said, like the clothes can't wear you, and that's like a perfect example of someone who wears her clothes so freaking well. Like she even tailors her clothes to her body. She'll get something and she'll like cinch it, or you know, she's just she's so spectacular. I love her.
Which I think is a really important thing to notice, because I feel like a lot of women who feel like it's so hard to buy clothes or things don't fit well, it's like if you can maybe shop a little bit deeper inside your budget and then pay someone to tailor it just a little bit, you'll feel a lot better in it.
100%.
Maybe don't get the $600 bridesmaid's dress, get the $150 one and have them play with it for you.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this a few episodes back, just about clothes and everything like that. And I do try to like find things that fit all around, right? But as like bigger women, it's like I feel like a lot of clothes will fit me perfect from the waist down, but then they assume that all fat women bodies have huge tits. And so I have so many dresses that I had to have someone like take in the bust because I was like just two potato sacks floating around up here. Otherwise, it'd be beautiful.
But it's also like the way that they anatomically construct the clothes for plus size women. They don't expect you to have normal big tits. They expect you to have Anna Nicole Smith 2002 tits.
Yes.
Like it's like they don't even look at people out in the street and in the world or try and find out what like a 48G bra looks like. Even.
Right. Right. Or the fact that sometimes the titty area isn't just for the titties; it's for the side titties, you know, and I'm like, accommodate the fat everywhere. God damn it. Please.
Or they'll throw tassels on it and they'll be like, okay, this is the design that we're going to give you. Everyone gets a tassel. I'm like, stop doing this.
I'm not a parade float.
Thank you.
Because whenever I see a tassel, I think of like that fucking like the carnival circus.
Yes.
Like the ponies that the kids would ride.
Yes.
Put a tassel. No.
Exactly.
They get tangled up. Like, who can even? Even if you like tassels. Okay.
But that's why a big part of like my look on stage, I base it on the blazers, was because if I gained or lost weight. Most of them I can still work depending on what I wear underneath.
Right.
So like so long as like my black underneath or like my basics, my turtlenecks or whatever underneath fit, then just leave it open and
you make
run.
it work.
Yeah.
Yes. And just talking a little bit about like your past, you said that you grew up bigger.
Oh yeah.
Right. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I was a very small, very, very skinny kid till like first grade. And then me and my mom moved in with my grandma and I ate real food. And then I just never really stopped.
Can you explain real food? Like what would she?
So like just a random dinner because like at that point my grandma would have been like 65 and not working anymore. Well, I saw that they had a sale down at the little shop and save. So I picked up this roast and got a pound of carrots and there's some yellow potatoes. And Matt, can you chop up this onion? You're old enough. You can handle the big knife. And that would just be Tuesday. Like just a roast.
Yeah.
Just a roast.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, I'm bored. Does anybody want biscuits and gravy from scratch? It's 11 p.m. Jill, drive me to the grocery store. I really just feel like cooking.
That's hilarious and also awesome. Yeah.
We just ate because she could cook. My mom didn't know how to cook. She didn't interest her. I'm also of the same mind where you can't get me to do shit I don't want to do. I like to cook, but we're the same way and just like, I don't want to do that. Fuck you.
My mom was an amazing, I call her a chef. Like she was an amazing cook. And I'm like, why even try when there's someone that can do it
seriously
30 times better than me? So yeah,
it's
totally
like
get that.
it's like going into the same job as your parents. It's like, but my dad was a good boy.
Yeah.
I'm fucking stupid.
It's like
It's literally that.
it's like if I started doing heroin today, I'd be like, my dad is better at it.
If I disappear right now, I might do it just as well as my father. I might. But yeah, no, I didn't start to gain weight really till about first grade. Okay. And then I just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then when you are I think this is true for young women of color as well, but when you're a young boy who is not white, people think you're a lot older than you are. And when you're bigger than other kids your size, people think you're a lot older than you are. So by the time I was like 12, 13 years old, everybody thought I was a grown-ass man.
Wow.
No.
Everybody thought I was a grown-ass man because at 13, I was probably 5'7", 190, which isn't even that big.
No.
That's a lot of people's goal weight. But
It's
my
my
goal weight. Literally.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. But I was just considered a tank. And it was always funny because when I was growing up, like, 10, 11, 12, 13, the joke was always that someone, like my parents, I'd go somewhere with my mom or my aunt or my grandma or whatever, and one of the dads or, someone's husband who didn't know me very well would say, oh, that boy should play football. And wait till you hear him talk. Because I looked like a football player, but I always sounded like this.
Yeah.
Like a rear admiral if I was in the Navy. Swabbing the poop deck every day. That was sort of they caught on early.
Yeah, you sound like you're a little more familiar with semen than I am. So.
I in the Navy. I did volunteer at the YMCA.
Sure.
I did it all.
That's fair. Yeah. So, do you think your family were they concerned about your weight at all? Like, do you feel like
my
you
grandmother was concerned with everyone's weight? My grandmother thought everyone's weight was her personal problem. Me and my sister still talk about this. When we were growing up, like my grandma would take us back to school shopping. And for whatever reason, my brother, the oldest one, never had a weight issue in his entire life. Has always been tall and thin, just like his fucking dad. Great. Cool. Call Larry. But me and my sister looked like my mom's side of the family, and my grandma would take us shopping for schools every August and make us put on clothes that did not fit, that were way too small, and make us come out.
My grandma made me do that too. Oh, bitch.
And like, I remember being like this would have been with my aunt, not even my grandma, so it was multi-generational. I remember like in the store being like, I do not wear a child's large. I wear an adult male large. I cannot put this on my body. She's like, Matthew, go put it on. I am telling you, I weigh 187 pounds. I'm not fitting in a child's large. It's just the humiliation tactic.
Yes.
But we all went through it.
Yeah.
We all went through it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand if you really think about that exercise, which I guess maybe they saw on some daytime talk show that they were supposed to do. I don't know. Maybe someone thought it was a good idea once. If you really think about it, if they're trying to put you in like, this is what you should fit in, this is what you should feel like. Oh, I should feel miserable? No.
Yeah.
It's not a positive association with anything that size.
My grandma wanted me to physically see the fat spilling out of the pants, because then she's like, this is the fat you need to lose. And I'd be like, okay. It was just like, she would want to make a spectacle of me whenever I went to Kmart, because she's like, this is how you learn, and the next time you want to eat potato chips, maybe you'll think twice. And I was like, no, I'm going to eat more potato chips because now I want to be rebellious.
Right. And it's the only thing I can control is what I'm putting into my
Right.
body. Yeah.
Like, we're at fucking Kmart. Just let me get what I want.
And they can always call us fat because they're old and they get to be fat.
Yes.
They've earned it.
Well, see, and that's the thing. My grandma was not a fat old woman. She was just an old woman.
Bad enough.
Yeah, bad enough. She fucking sucked. And my grandpa was super fat, and he was like, men get to be fat.
I just think it's
okay, Archie Bunker.
Right. I mean,
Shit.
but exactly. But that was even my dad was like, it's typical for men to get older and have weight on them. Like, it's a man with a belly is more like, that's okay. Like, men should gain weight. And I was just like, that's insane.
Yeah. I also just think it's really interesting, like, 3 people here that have had body issues are past guests. Like, all of our parents kind of used like the humiliation tactic,
right, that's
or
so
like
shitty.
to be like the older generation. They just were like, if we're hard on you, you'll learn.
Shame.
Right?
Shame.
If we shame you,
and I think
you'll
there's
get
a
it.
lot of us who felt like if we were left alone about it, things maybe wouldn't have gotten to a certain level. Because if there's like this repeated abuse, there's going to be a repeated cycle of behavior, and some of that's going to involve binge eating.
Yes. And I've also because I'm realizing more and more now so that the way that I talk about food is a part of my eating disorder. Like, I'll be like, oh, I've been eating so much red meat, or like I've been eating so much of this, when really it's like, no, I've been eating it because it's fuel for my body.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. And if I want to have more vegetables, just add more vegetables into my diet. I shouldn't try and like eliminate things out. But I wish that my parents left me alone. I feel like if they had left me alone, then maybe I would have
or even just, I don't know, more guidance, like positive guidance versus being restrictive and cruel about it.
They totally missed the if you can't help, don't hurt memo. Like, totally missed it.
Yes.
Because it's like, I mean, it's like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? But it's like, that's all you did was say stuff that wasn't nice. Thank you.
100%. But you were talking about your journey.
Yeah.
Because I was really considered fat by like my family, and school was evil about it. School was fucking evil about it. Because if you're fat and you're like athletic or coordinated, it's not so bad. But if you're fat and awkward, and it's just, oh my God. I will never set foot in a gym because of PTSD, which should be its own acronym.
Yes.
Should be its, because I just, that class was the bane of my existence until sophomore year when I didn't have to take it anymore. And it was just evil. But I was large for that, for everyone's eyes up until about 8th grade. And then the summer between like end of 8th grade, like into summer before freshman year, it was my personal mission that I needed to lose weight, because I was leaving this tiny ass little Catholic school and going to public high school. And the only thing, which is so healthy and only took me 10 years to get rid of, 11, the thing that kept going through my 14-year-old brain was that you need to lose weight, because if you're fat like this, you're not going to have a boyfriend. And even if you're skinny, you might not get one, but at least you'll have a chance at having a boyfriend, because you don't know if there's going to be gay guys there. So the least you could do is show up and not be a fat ass. The least you could do is show up prepared. That is how I looked at it. And it worked.
Yeah.
The nefarious bad reasons worked, and I kept it off for a long time.
Do you mind if I ask how you lost the weight?
I went on, well, because when you're 13, 14, your metabolism is very respondent.
Right.
Most people's, unless they have other health issues.
Well, your
that I
body is
didn't.
also still growing and all of that. Developing.
I was done with puberty by then.
Oh.
If I was in another time, I would have been one of those men with like a farm and 5 kids at the age of 15. I went through puberty very early, very young, all at once.
Got it.
I've been using the same dick pic since it was illegal. Like
Stop
everything has been exactly the same size for a long time.
No, I'm
Wait,
just kidding.
you still have access to... I wish I had access to nudes I took when I was...
I only had a couple
I
because
want to compare and contrast.
As a man, you only need one good dick pic. So if you get it when you're 16, well,
That's I don't know why I'm so impressed by that.
I know. I'm like, is it okay to be like, I feel like, yeah, that's...
and also your
Cool.
dick pics only get worse with age because you're between laziness, your testosterone going down.
Sure.
It's actually gonna you're not gonna get as hard and it's not gonna be as big. So get a good one at like 18 and a half. Get a good, schedule a photo shoot with your dick at like 18 and a half and just get it in its prime. Get it in its prime.
So, like, I'm sure he won't care that I'm saying this, but
No.
my partner and I have been together since we were like 18 years old. And I want to...
It's half the size. It used to be here.
I was gonna say I have a really old dick pic from him from when we must have been like our early 20s, but like it looked the same. It looked the same.
It's still in the same place and everything.
It said, well, yeah, it is.
I actually put it between his shoulders for easier access.
Oh my God.
He said, "Give me a back rub," and I got an idea.
Oh, he'll be so happy that we're talking about this. Okay.
Well, if it makes you feel better,
will.
my theory about it getting slightly smaller with age came to me from a comedian on a road gig. So maybe it's junk science.
Well, no, but listen. So here's the thing. So like my
And he
partner...
didn't show me; he just told me, just for clarity.
Good. I was okay. But my partner's weight has fluctuated a lot in the last 14 years or so that we've been together.
I would hope so.
Right.
It's been 14 years. If everything stayed the same, is he all right?
Yeah, right. Well, when we met, he was like rail thin, like left bruises in my inner thighs because his hips were poking out skinny. You know what I mean? And then he gained more weight and then lost some weight and gained some weight and lost some weight. You know what I mean? And you know what? I won't continue actually with that thought. It's probably inappropriate. It's probably a TMI. No, we're already here. He's Polish and Puerto Rican.
God bless America.
There you go. Right.
Mountains or the prairies.
And he's got he's well endowed, and yeah, I like when he's a little heavier because it's a little easier on me to receive.
Well,
Does that make sense? Okay.
there's also a little bit more. There's a little bit more action behind the action when they have a little bit more poundage on them.
Yeah,
it's just like even if you see a skinny guy and he has a real big butt, you know he has thrusting power.
Yes.
Like if a man's got just a little extra on him, he's gonna have a little extra on him.
I agree. Thank you for articulating that for me. Thank you. You just have a way with words, Matt.
I try my best to have a relationship with language.
Yes, you're doing great. You're fantastic.
Doing my
I guess
best.
kind of because we're maybe a little bit talking about dating, and you said when you lost weight, you found it easier to date.
Well, that's what I told myself in my head from what I had been able to learn off the internet and whatever existed on television in 2011.
Oh my God.
Well, and also,
it
I mean,
was a
how
dark
often
time.
how often did your family be like, "Oh, you're not going to find a boyfriend if you don't lose weight"? I mean,
Oh
it
my
was
God,
the
like
same.
1,000 million
It was the
times.
same with me as well, and it was just like, yeah, you're literally taught that your value and your appeal is dependent on how you're presenting, and God forbid you have extra weight on you because no one is going to want to date you.
Well, I think that body standard actually, in my real life experience when I see my friends, like my plus size friends that are women don't really have major problems getting a date. That's not like a thing.
I never did.
I believe that this is my like pet little theory. This is my little conspiracy theory, like up with the joint at 2 a.m. like Eddie Bravo. My conspiracy theory is that all the beauty standards, both for men and for women, especially as it concerns the size thing, that comes from gay dudes that are trying to boss everybody around. I think it's social control. We're on the other end of it. We design the clothes. We want to dress you up. We tell you you're fat for not fitting into them. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're trying to get you ready and hot and sexy for guys who do not like skinny women who look good in the clothes we make. Straight men do not like that. Straight men like women with asses and titties because that's sort of part of why they go to the party. So I don't the line between a guy who like only likes 95-pound women and then also you find weird pictures of 15-year-old boys on their computer. I think it's very, yeah. I don't know. I think that if we just looked at what people's real actual choices looked like, a lot of these beauty standards would go away.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting point. I mean, one of my first boyfriends, I mean, he was gay. He ended up being gay. But
God bless.
But, you know, when we were in high school, everybody liked him. He was like so cute and everything. Everyone liked him. And I remember he just like started dating this girl in my grade who was like very conventionally hot, huge tits, good butt, everything. And everyone was like, yeah, of course he's dating her because she's hot and he's hot. And then we were at a party we ended up making out and he was like, I don't really like her. You know, I just feel like I'm supposed to like her, you know, but apparently, the amount of the guys I went to high school with that called me a pig, you know, like years later sliding my DMs like, wow, you look good. I always liked you, da, da, da. And I'm just like, oh, this is so boring.
I think maybe in my head, I always thought that I didn't date men as much or men didn't date me, it was because I was fat, but really it was my self-confidence but when I started like working on myself and loving myself and like really, which is so cliche, so dumb,
but it's
cliche,
true.
But I just like was like all about me. And then that's when I met my boyfriend. And so it's just like, yeah, 100%.
Like,
I agree.
I feel like I don't want to fuck how someone looks. I want to fuck their vibes, you know. That's what I want to be with.
I don't want to fuck anybody. I'm tired.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do it for both of us.
I already fucked everybody. I think I'm retired. Like, I think
retired at 25
I
and
think
a
I'm a
half?
commentator because I gave all my good years to the field. I think I just gotta,
you have this joke where you talk about, like, you're like, I don't want to date an old man because of his money. I want to date an old man because, what was it, like, you'll be home in bed by 9?
Oh yeah, no, I like Joe Biden. Like, he's my celebrity crush because I like a guy you can plan a day around. There's something so comforting about a totally useless man. What's Joe doing? Nothing. It's a great day. It's perfect for a woman with a strong personality.
But you also say you're like, yeah, I want you to be 4 inches and not that good in bed, so I can be home by 9 or something.
If you have a small dick and a premature ejaculator, thank you, because I want to go home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
If we were gonna do something I want to do, we'd go shopping.
Right.
I probably am going to get this tattooed on my forehead at some point. Sex with men is something I do out of boredom when there's no women around to talk to. It is about...
Isn't that a Cher quote?
That simple.
That is...
Oh, no. No. Cher said men are like dessert.
You don't need them. They're nice.
Them. You just want it sometimes, yeah.
Mom, I am a rich man.
Okay.
That's
So you are a gay man.
Indeed.
And would you say, like, if you were heavier now, do you think it would affect people's attraction to you? Do you feel like it's affected being in a smaller frame now, or how do you feel about that?
Well, it's because I have gone through more recent like weight fluctuations. I was able to keep my weight in the 150s for years, and between mental health medications and a very friendly relationship with red wine, that we're sober Octobering, so we'll see how much of this is just booze. But like I am pretty much back up to like my fat 7th grade weight.
Really?
So I'm back up at the heaviest I've pretty much ever been. Like 185, 190 is as big as I ever got, and that's about where I am right now. And I think that if I had been this size in 2012 when I was starting high school, it would have been like the Damien from Mean Girls experience, where he wasn't big but too fat for anybody to look at him or talk to him. But I think because things are different now, I don't really think it would be as much of a problem if I was really trying to put myself out there. I'm not. I don't care. I ate all the birthday cake. Like, I'm good. But If I was, I don't really think it'd be an issue because everyone's out there jerking off to Sam Smith or whatever. So, like, and he's wearing shit that looks like a UFO crash someone put a zipper on.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, and I also ask too because just like knowing a lot of gay men specifically, you know, I feel like I have a lot of gay male friends who work really hard to look a certain way, you know, because they want to fall into a certain category.
I never liked jacked up muscular guys when I was skinny. I was never into that when I like would have been what you would think would be the type. But then also bodybuilders like chubby girls.
I was just gonna say that one of my first boyfriends was a bodybuilder, and I recently started hooking up with someone who is a bodybuilder, and it's pretty fun. It's funny to me. I'm just like, like it's just funny.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah.
I always thought the dudes on the wrestling team were hot. Like a little sturdiness. A little sturdiness never upset me.
Yeah.
But I also did tall and skinny and short and fat and everything in the middle. Like I don't know. Body type was never a determinant for me. I know it is for other people, but
right.
I think the muscle bros kind of attract each other. I personally think like the muscular guys who are in the gym all the time and they are just into other muscle bros. I personally think that's like the most elite. That is the gayest gay of a gay. Because they're not even fucking men. They're fucking the idea of a drawing of a man.
Yeah.
So that's like you are just in love with the idea of men.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I can't relate. I am not into this archetype.
That's some straight men too. They're just like in love with the idea of like this.
Yeah, the bench sniffers.
Oh God. Oh Matthew. Well, it's like I had a friend who dated a guy who would draw. He would draw pictures of like nude women and say that it was art, but it was all just like big titty, tiny waist, no rib women. And she'd be like, I'm uncomfortable seeing this around the house. He's like, oh, you're uncomfortable with the female form? And she's like, no, I'm uncomfortable with your idea of the female form because this kind of woman doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I think that shit's only getting worse because everybody's jerking off to the anime and whatever.
Oh my God.
Everybody wants to have sex with things that aren't real. And I'm like worried by that.
I'm also worried by that.
That's not a good impulse.
It's not. I'm all for using porn in moderation, and you know, for most of us, I think it's just a stimulant, right? Just to have a visual there, so you don't get distracted by like the dirty dishes in your sink or something, like you know. But then there are people who really do it compulsively, and they fall into this like fantastical world of perfect bodies and.
I am very specific and ethical with my porn consumption.
I try really
think
hard.
It's hard. Get to be very ugly.
It's true. That's why I watch all the solo stuff, right? Because it's like, at least, are you forcing yourself into it? I don't know.
I mean, honestly, like now that I'm not a virgin anymore, when I watch porn, I'm like, ugh. I'm like, ugh.
Suze, can we talk about the special moment that we shared? No, we didn't make a porn. I preface that. Like,
you took Suze's virginity?
But she did tell me about a really great porn star.
Yes. Okay. I just appreciate. No. I just appreciate. Oh my God. I would have, but she didn't want.
I couldn't
to affect our friendship. It's okay. I get it. It's fine. I respect Suze's sexuality, okay? But no, we were like, I was telling you about the porn that I like because we were talking about what we like to get off to, and one of the things was like deep voices talking us off kind of thing, and I was like, yo, you gotta watch this guy. I mean, I don't even really watch him. I just pop headphones in and close my eyes.
I watch him.
Yeah,
he's great.
Well, he's great. He's awesome.
Would you jerk off to a guy with a really deep voice telling you how to use a bop it?
Yes.
Slap it.
Yeah.
Turn it. Pull it.
Am I the bop?
I mean, honestly, like you would look at other videos, but he was the only one that had like really cornered the market on.
He cornered the.
He cornered the market.
The
he monopolized
instruction market.
Yeah, exactly. Because you'd watch other guys and you'd be like, ew. This is terrible.
Yeah, like an ego thing.
Have you seen like the trends on TikTok where and women are listening to it just for the audio, where they make the guys do like this push-up challenge where they have to go like a specific height and whatever, and just the moaning and it's a moment. It's a moment. If you have not visited, go try and search whatever the fuck you think I described. So I'm not saying it again. And go on, my wayward son.
Go on, my wayward son. Cool. Anyway, I knew we were going to get nasty. You know, we got to pull it back a little bit.
I was going to say though.
Pull back the foreskin on this one.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Air it out.
I was gonna say like bodybuilders, like that
Yeah.
is like its own. That's like its own form of like eating disorder, body disorder.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
I used to work at a gym, and people that like do bodybuilding competitions, I mean, they are like writing everything down and like weighing themselves consistently and like doing all this stuff. And I think that they date people that are like that because that feeds into their ideation of like what a body should be, or like their this is their life's work.
Yeah.
I think that's really true, but I hate to acknowledge it because it proves that men are better at eating disorders than women, and that
Oh shit.
I don't want to.
Shit, we're making breakthroughs.
I don't know. It's debatable. One of my favorite makeup people on YouTube, what's her name? Michaela. You probably know who I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I thought you were going to talk about that Eugenia woman, and I was going to.
Oh, no. I think I did bring her up a while back because I was following that person since I was in high school.
Well, yeah, she's been ill for a while.
She's very long time, yes. But I'm talking about a beauty
Michaela,
influencer.
from Boston?
Yeah, she talks like this, and she's like, "Oh, I used to be a bodybuilder," and she talks like that.
She got into trouble.
What?
Well, because she faked this mascara.
Oh,
Or was that the one where she's like,
yeah, that was her.
was it
yeah,
her? I don't know.
She faked this. She had like eyelashes on. It was really bad. Like
They-
people would zoom in and
They
like.
used to do that in mascara commercials on TV up to the point of like 5 or 10 years ago. That only recently became like something you couldn't do. So I'm not that mad at it.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I like her a lot. She talks about how
Hell
she
yeah.
was a professional bodybuilder, but she was like, it was an addiction for me. And she's like, yes, I'm much heavier now. And people are all the time like, oh, it's just so easy if you just blah, blah. She's like, no, shut up. Like, I
fine.
literally had to cut out going to the gym from my life because if I go to the gym, I'm going to fall into the rabbit hole. And she was like, there was a time in my life where the only thing that made me happy was seeing my ribs. I just wanted to get the skin more in between them. She was like, yeah, everyone's like, you look great. You're so strong, this and that. But I was not healthy,
or happy.
But I really appreciate that kind of conversation too. Is like, yeah, there is an extreme healthy side of things, just like there's an extreme unhealthy side of things. And I think we're all just like trying to find a balance.
Too much of a good thing can fuck you up.
How do you feel like, what's your relationship with your body now like? Would you say that you feel really comfortable in your skin?
Well, every day I look in the mirror and I say disgusting, and then after I get that out of my system, I can just start on an even plane.
Oh,
No,
no way.
I would say that I don't know. How would I describe my relationship with my body? It has betrayed me in many, many ways, but most of them are not with how I look. It's more with how I feel.
That's, yeah,
The
totally.
big problem for me and my body was this whole juvenile arthritis situation that just I ignored when I was younger and got worse and worse and worse.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I just was like, no, I'm an opera singer. I'm working 6 hours a day. Like, my back's strong. My muscles are strong. I'm healthy. I'm fine. And then around 18, I broke my knee. Like a woman with osteoporosis. I just fractured my knee doing nothing at the age of 18 years old. And, like, now I'm 25, and, like, I'm mad that they don't make heating pads like they did in the 70s that would melt your clothes into your skin.
I agree.
They don't get hot enough anymore.
They don't.
And like I have all the Ben Gay and the Icy Hot and all the everything and the what's it called, the
Tiger Balm?
no the
Foam
that's
roller?
lube. No foam. Yeah, I have a foam roller. I've got like all these fucking appliances and just everything hurts. But what I have found with my weight fluctuating is that my weight fluctuating does not really fuck with the arthritis that much within like the 25, 30 pounds that I struggle with.
Okay.
What I do notice is different the bigger I am, though. If I sleep wrong, 3 days are gone. 3
Yeah.
days are just up. No, there's more of me now that leaned into that for 7 hours. That's over.
Matt, you are so inspiring to me because every time I see you, you're like in a good mood, or at least you're faking it, and you're always easy to talk to. You're always professional. You're always funny. You're always doing stuff. And then you're also dealing with these things behind the closed doors. And it's like, God, you're just such a fucking rock star, dude. You're a fucking amazing human being.
Well, I mean, I had health issues like my entire childhood. It was either like, gastrointestinal stuff. I was I was born a preemie, so like my lungs were never fully formed. That's part of why I started singing. I only had like 75% lung capacity up for a very long time.
That's what we bonded about.
And like I just was never a very healthy, strong person ever. So that's why I work like a wild animal, because it's like, bitch, I could be dead tomorrow, so there'd better be something left. There had better be something left, whether it's a documentary or a joke or my clothes at someone's goddamn garage sale.
Yeah.
Like I don't know when I'm just gonna crumble or when the other knee's gonna go. So I had just better goddamn use my time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's heavy stuff though, because I feel like a lot of people who deal with illness or disease, a lot of them do it in silence. And I mean, I had no idea that you were dealing with like early arthritis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that I think it's a very American thing to just think that there's like no dignity in that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That is an American thing.
Because I don't know. I feel like in other countries where healthcare wouldn't be so expensive, like I'm sure that if I grew up in the Caribbean or Central America, I would have a very good relationship with my neighborhood herbalist. Like we would, like it would just be a different culture, a different way of looking at things, a different way of dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And like when you grow up without a lot of money, if you have a sick little kid, we don't investigate everything because that's fucking expensive.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
So like it's just you end up having a different relationship with health overall here compared to somewhere where I don't know anybody's looking out for you. So I think that's a big part of all of our relationships with weight, with chronic illness, with anything that we deal with. Because you go somewhere else and maybe they don't want to say that everything's based on your weight when you go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I think that it's such a shame that America's so for-profit healthcare.
It's disgusting.
Because in Lebanon, it's so easy and affordable to like I had like a skin issue and I went to someone who was a dermatologist that literally like looked at my skin, looked at a book and was like, yep, this is it, matched it up and found a cure for me immediately. Whereas here they're like, yeah, put fungal cream on it and you're good. And it's like, yeah, well, that's not working. Well, go ahead and try it again and see what happens.
It's almost like they're just trying to get as many patients in and out,
Yes.
So many times I go to the doctor and I feel like I wasn't actually looked at, like just kind of was in there, and the most of the time I spent in the doctor was just waiting for the doctor.
But that's the thing. Another thing that I wanted to touch on is that like you're kind of rarely going to the doctor because we had so many herbal things or like teachings or just holistic health, like that you would just do at home, that you didn't really need to go to the doctor so much for.
And then your food is not quite so processed a lot of the
yes.
time. If you have your own garden, your tomatoes don't have who knows what in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you made them, you picked them, you swatted the bugs off of them.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I have friends that live in Germany, and they're like, everyone has their own little. It's just normal. Everyone has their own little like herb garden or veggies. Neighbors share. Like, oh, I grow tomatoes, you grow cucumbers. Let's switch, trade. You know what I mean? That's just like an everyday practice for people.
Now, I'm curious, with your family having a lot of roots in Lebanon, do people in your family go back there to get their teeth done as well?
Oh my God, yeah, 100%.
Okay, because I worked at a dental school for 2.5 years, and we had a lot of international students. Like 40% of my program were students who'd already completed dental training in other countries.
Yeah.
And then we also had a lot of faculty who came from Spain, Colombia, you name it. Everybody, didn't matter how much money they made here, did not matter how great of a dentist were they here, did not matter if they were from Colombia, they went back to Colombia to get their teeth done. If they were from Saudi Arabia, they went back.
Yeah.
Wherever they were from, they were not going to an American dentist.
Yeah,
and they were American trained dentists, and they wouldn't do it.
Whenever like you would spend $600 here or like $600 to $800 for a root canal here, that's $100 back home.
Plane ticket
and then
is
you get
the
to
hard
see,
part.
and then you get to see your family all at the same time and eat good food and be comfortable. My mom got plastic surgery done when she went to Lebanon.
Bless.
And like had great recovery time. There was someone there to help take care of her. It was American doctors. Like, it's not much different than here. You're just paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars less.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we have to remember we want to live in this culture in America where we have occupational prestige, where certain people are just looked up to. Well, anytime you go to them for services, you're paying for that, stupid. You,
Yeah.
Mr. America capitalist, are going to have to pay for that.
Yeah, 100%.
That money doesn't come out of thin fucking air. It comes out of your ass.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so frustrating when you go to a doctor and they're like, oh, well, it's because of your weight. And you're like, no, because I've been heavy. Like, I've been this size. So there has to be something else that is contributing to my sickness or, whatever.
Especially from what I hear from women in my family, from friends, if you're a woman who is overweight and you have any reproductive issues whatsoever, it's like talking to a brick fucking wall. They don't care. They don't want to hear. They don't have any solutions. Go bleed on your couch. They don't care.
It was like I went to the gynecologist. I mean, this was years ago when I started doing like regular visits, and they were my gynecologist. I was just there for a yeast infection and no other reason. And then she was like, "Oh, I want to give you this pamphlet on like what was it? The one where they make your tummy tinier on the inside. What's that surgery called?
The bypass?
Is it bypass? Yeah, she gave me a pamphlet about. I think it was, or no, lap band. That's
band.
what it is.
That's literally what
what it is. Yeah. She gave me a pamphlet about lap band surgery. And I was like, what? And she was like, well, just looking at your charts here, you are heavier. And I know you complain about, irregular periods and all stuff. It wasn't until I was literally 29 that a doctor was like, yeah, you have PCOS. But that the gynecologist that should have just given me medicine for yeast infection was like, oh, consider this major surgery.
I know what your real problem is. You know what?
What?
It has nothing to do with your fucking vagina. Like, they're like talking down to you.
Yeah.
I came here for my pussy. And they're like, you know what? The size of your ass when you walk through that door concerned me.
Your
We will
yeast
get to the
infection
yeast.
is coming from you eating too much bread. It's like too many carbs. And it's like, oh, what? Yeah. I mean, so many times you go to the doctor for something totally unrelated to your weight, and then they just bring it up. They just kind of squeeze it in there. And I'm like, cool, we've been here. It's fine.
Now, what I find very fascinating about that is, as someone who is thinner for, teenagehood and early adulthood, I have high blood pressure that they refuse to acknowledge.
What?
Wow.
I have high, they won't put me on meds for it because they're like, oh, it's always been a little elevated like that. Well, if you feel all right. If I was heavier, they'd be freaking the fuck out that it was
so true.
140 over 80 or whatever.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But if it's just always been that way, and they just accept it because I'm not big enough for them to want to blame me for shit.
That's insane and lazy.
Yeah,
Lazy.
100%.
Y'all spend.
He looks
hundreds of-
normal, so all of his lab work must be normal.
He looks
That's how their brains work.
normal.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hate
yeah.
that.
She looks different. All her shit must be wrong. It's that simple.
So, Matt, you're 25 and a half now. What is something you would go back in time and tell your teenage self? Would you say, hey, it's okay to be this size? Or
Okay, when you say teenage, are we talking like 15, 16?
yeah, like around
Okay.
the time that you felt like, like when people were saying you should be a football player and stuff like that.
If I could tell myself anything from back then, it would be the only thing that matters is that you're comfortable, because you can't do good work if you're not.
Oh my God, yes.
Ugh, awesome.
Yeah, because nothing good happens when you're tense and scared.
Yeah.
And you might feel great, bigger or smaller, whatever, wherever you feel great and comfortable is what matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
And then the other thing I would say is fucking brace tight, kid. You have no idea what's going to happen.
I was going to
That's the
say,
other
too,
thing. Like,
would young Matt be stoked to see adult Matt right now?
surprised and absolutely shocked.
Really?
Well, because when I was 17, I was shocked that I was filling out college applications and had to pick a major. I thought someone was going to have killed me by then. Because we grew up on fucking Matthew Shepard. You're not straight. You're like the same age. All we got taught was if you'd let anybody know you're gay, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like BRB, wait for the baseball bat. And so, like, the fact that didn't happen, I was like, oh, an adult life. I have to do something about that. Everything's been gravy.
What year did you graduate high school?
16.
No, you graduated high school 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't like literally gay marriage was legalized in 2012. So that wasn't very far off. Like you were just wasn't even.
It doesn't even really matter that it's legal now, because
Yeah.
there's so many places that are still.
Well, and the other
Yeah.
thing is, if they can
Dangerous.
give you your rights on TV, that's where they're going to take them away. So
Right.
I've been watching C-SPAN since I was a little boy. I was like, oh, great. Can't wait for this to be reversed, because they're going to play it backwards one day.
Yeah.
Yes. And especially because you're someone who is just like a quadruple threat, right? Because you're
I'm
trained-
threatening.
Yes, you're threatening. you're a trained vocalist, opera singer.
8 years of that. There's a score in my book bag.
I know. I also study opera. And professional comedian.
Absolutely.
Big boy job. I mean, what are some ways that you treat your body with love and respect now?
The way I have worked on self-care for my body is that I am in much more control of my schedule than I used to be. I used to be a real daffodil in the wind and say yes to everything and just whatever happens, happens, and I'll figure it out later. I can't do that anymore. If I have like 2 shows on Friday and 2 shows on Saturday, I am in bed on Sunday.
Yeah.
Find somebody else to close out the weekend. I'm sorry, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
And then
That's very smart.
and the other thing that I've also done that's really been, and I really think anybody who has the budget to be able to do this and suffers from chronic illnesses should definitely consider it. I have recently started having someone come in to help me clean my house once a month. It has been such a major effort, because when you don't feel well for a while, or you're super, super busy for a while, your house is the first thing to go.
Yes.
And then when it gets out of order, it's like, this is so overwhelming, I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And you don't want to ask your friends. So having that has been a big major help. Big major help.
So you
Oh, yeah.
you don't overload your plate. Just kidding. Sorry. Sorry. No, but
It's
for
stacked
real.
with nutrient dense food.
Yeah. No, but I think that's really incredible, Matt. You are a big bitch to us. You know what I mean? Because of just your disposition, your attitude.
Thank you.
How you treat other people. I mean that in a good way too. I know. Yeah, we're all big bitches here, and we were so happy to have you here today.
Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
plug your stuff one more time.
Yes.
for
Thank
the
you.
people.
Yeah, my website is MsBrownComedy.com, MS Brown Comedy. My Instagram is Ms. Brown Comedy. My TikTok is also Ms. Brown Comedy. Help me break 11,000 followers over there.
Yes.
And then for music stuff, that is The Black Music Archive on Instagram, or just Black Music Archive on YouTube.
Please check Matt Brown out.
Yes,
He
and-
is
So worth it.
so worth it.
And also go ahead and give Big Bitch Energy a follow if you haven't already at Big Bitch Energy Pod on Instagram.
In my private Instagram, well, not
Yeah,
private, but
private.
My comedy Instagram is Ball Out Comedy.
Mine is _palm_faced.
Palm period face. That's your Instagram,
That's
right? Okay.
right.
And we're at the Lincoln Lodge. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes. Stay big, bitch.
Thank you.
Big Bitch Energy.